Whether or not the star becomes a black hole depends on its mass. Welcome to the Space Diary channel. Before watching, I want to ask you to help our channel by liking and subscribing. It is believed that the Sun has already lived about half of the lifespan allotted to it by stellar evolution. This means that in about 5 billion years, our star will die. This will happen because the thermonuclear reaction in the Sun's core, which provides it with energy for life, will stop. Eventually, having passed the stage of a red giant with a significant increase in size, our star will shed most of its plasma and, under the influence of gravity, will shrink into a very dense, small object. Black holes are considered to be the densest objects in space, but will the Sun turn into a black hole? Black holes are not only the densest objects in the universe, but they also have the strongest gravity. This means that anything that falls into the sphere of influence of a black hole will be permanently absorbed by it. Black holes appear as a result of the death of stars, so we can assume that the Sun will shrink into a small, dense object, which will be a black hole. According to Xavier Calmet from the University of Sussex in the UK, this is a false assumption. The fact is that the Sun doesn't have enough mass to turn into a stellar mass black hole, and these are the smallest black holes we know of. According to the scientist, in order for a black hole to form after the death of a star, this star must have a mass 20 to 25 times greater than the Sun, after the dying star has only its core left, which will have a very high density due to compression under the influence of gravity. This core should have a mass 2 to 3 times greater than the mass of the Sun. In this case, gravity will continue to put pressure on the stellar remnant, and it will turn into a black hole. Stars like the Sun, when they die, first turn into red giants, which means that their size increases significantly. For example, our star will become so huge that its edge will be somewhere beyond the orbit of Mars. This means that Mars, Venus, Mercury, and, of course, the Earth will simply cease to exist. In the red giant stage, the Sun will gradually lose all of its plasma, which will disperse into space as a planetary nebula. What will be left of the Sun in place of our star? Another object called a white dwarf will appear. They are sometimes called dead stars, and if the Sun were in a double star system, such a white dwarf could take plasma from its neighbor. Upon reaching the critical mass limit, it would explode in a supernova and disappear. But this is not our case. As for black holes, in order for them to appear after the death of a huge star, the latter must go through several stages of ejecting its matter into space and gradually shrinking. As a result of such processes, more and more heavy chemical elements appear in the core of stars. When the core is filled with the heaviest element that a star can produce, i.e. iron, a supernova explodes. A black hole will form in the place of the former star, and its fragments will be scattered throughout space, although some of them will still be absorbed by the black hole. The smallest known black holes are called stellar mass black holes, and they can be between 3 and 100 times heavier than the Sun. To become so huge, such a black hole needs to absorb the surrounding matter, i.e. dust and gas, and sometimes even swallow a companion star if the black hole appeared in a double star system. That is why the Sun will never become a black hole, and it will never swallow the Earth, because our planet will have already disappeared. In any case, our distant descendants will watch the Sun die, perhaps from the moons of Jupiter or Saturn, or from another star system altogether. Of course, there is always the pessimistic possibility that humanity will cease to exist as a species in billions of years, so the Sun will die alone without any outside observers. Although some scientists believe that humans are not the only intelligent species in our galaxy. Was this video interesting for you? Please share your opinion in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow for more interesting videos.